Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips and Lori G, the benefactor. Before we get super started, I wanted to give a very special shout out to one of our amazing sponsors, the Network Studios, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the amazing Kenyon with the Network Studios. So we wanted to make sure we did some of our housekeeping early on in the show. So from that being stated, I'm going to go on ahead and pivot over to my sister, Lori G, and she's going to get us an amazing introduction about tonight's show.
Yeah. Thank you, Sissy.
You're welcome.
Well, tonight is all about entertainment. All about entertainment. Entertainment, the arts, and that controversial topic of AI, right? Is AI our friend or is it a foe? So we're going to have some discussion about that tonight. I think it's going to be really exciting as our artists weigh in on that. But before we get there, I'd like to introduce you to this incredible panel that we have. And so starting, we have Mr. Vernon Jackson with us. Yeah, welcome, Vernon. Right. And so Vernon is an all-around artist, choreographer, entertainer. I would say maybe the godfather of stepping, huh?
Yeah. A pioneer.
Yes.
Pioneer of stepping, and we'll talk a lot about that. Greek life, you're an alpha. That's
A
correct,
phi.
right? A-Phi, okay. And we're very happy to have you here. We also have Mr. Aaron King with us. Welcome. Welcome. Aaron is an actor and an artist and definitely very exciting entertainer. So we'd love to talk with you a little bit about your journey. And then we also have joining with us Ms. Micah Smith, who is also a creative and works in the art and is really going to give us some insight into the use of AI on a couple of projects that you've recently finished, correct?
Yes.
So welcome. We are so excited to have all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
How do you want to start? You want to jump into the, is it our friend? Is it not? Is AI our friend?
It depends on who's using it
Ah,
and how they're using it. Right?
okay.
So I'm pretty maybe like 3 years deep, I would say, into AI. And new things are developed every other day. There's updates every other day. And the majority of people that I have talked to in the entertainment industry, because they're so focused on paying attention to their art and, keeping their own hands on their stuff and the creative process and all of it, majority of people I've talked to are very afraid of AI. They're afraid of being replaced. They're afraid of being copied. They're afraid of the person who is using it to produce way faster
Right.
than what they're producing. And I just give, music artists, for example, writing music, it's a whole process. It really is, it really truly is an art form. And it's something that takes time. And so the way that the industry has gone over the years, if you want a song, you're going to have to wait days, weeks, months. A lot has to be pulled together. Now with the power of AI, you can have a song in 10 minutes, right? And so that is the direction that we're going. And not just any song, you can have a great song. You can have a whole banger. You can have the lyrics. You can have the music, and it's ready to publish and distribute. And so people are afraid. I've talked to actors who are also afraid because now we can have an 8-second scene done in 2 minutes that looks so realistic that you can hardly tell the difference.
Right.
Right. So people are wondering, like, what's going on with this? What's going to happen to me?
Wow, it's here, guys, huh? So now we're facing the AI and stepping and movement. What does your mind go to for that when you hear this, Vernon?
Well, first of all, I was intrigued by Michael with the AI situation, and I was thinking, if you guys recall, was it a couple of years ago? Because I'm a member of Screen Actors Guild, SAG, and a lot of concerned was about, the AI too as well, coming in and, the copyright stuff and a lot of different issues or whatever. But I'm intrigued, by it too, because I like, being proactive and getting on top of it. I want to create my own, you know, lane, if you will, as an artist, So I'm interested in seeing what it's all about. I'm not, yeah.
Okay, by the look, does that mean it takes us over? Does it take over the IP power? Like, who intellectual property is that at the end of the day?
Right.
So it is your intellectual property,
Okay.
but like I'm finding out recently, the United States Copyright Office will not copyright music that's been generated with AI, that's fully
Oh.
generated or even partially generated. And so, we're still
Good
trying to
to know.
figure out laws and legislation around this, because I have works that where the music was generated via AI, but the lyrics were mine, right? Or if I used AI as a tool to edit this, I feel like I should have some type of protection somewhere.
Right.
But then we have to remember too, which is why the Screen Actors Guild was, kind of upset at AI. Yes, it does come up with some things originally. However, it is learning from all of us,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even when it comes to vocals, there are samples pulled from, you don't know where they're pulled from,
Mm-hmm.
right? Vocal samples all blended in together,
Mm-hmm.
sound samples all blended in together.
Mhm.
You don't know exactly what you're getting.
Right.
But then I kind of look at it too, like even when a a song that's been completed by humans entirely, they're still sampling other artists. They're still
Yes,
sampling
sir.
other,
Mhm.
beats and things like that. AI is just doing it faster. And so I also gave you a look because I'm like, hey, if you want to dive into it, I'm all for it, right?
Right.
Mhm.
I'm excited about it. I think that what I've had to kind of explain to people was that I got into AI because my background is in digital marketing. And there's such a demand, like when it comes to digital marketing. Like no one is in digital marketing no one needs digital marketing. Like, oh, I just want to advertise just to be cute. It's like, no, you got to turn a profit. You have to grow a business. If,
Mm-hmm.
you don't bring in money,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's getting a paycheck. Everybody's going to be broke. So you better know what you're doing. And a lot of times it requires a whole lot of output, and
Mm-hmm.
things are happening faster than ever. And so what's kind of happened with the industry all around is that, time is money. People don't have time to wait anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's, microwave distribution, microwave product
Mm-hmm.
development, right? Um, microwave marketing,
Mm-hmm. True.
before, for example, if someone wanted an ad designed, we would probably be waiting maybe like 2 days or so to get that ad. And then it's sent to the person who hired you. Then you want to ask for revisions. That's another
Right.
couple of
Mhm.
hours. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not waiting for that
I know
anymore.
that.
I want 100 ads by tomorrow,
That's so
Mm.
true.
right? So you better know what you're doing.
You gotta
You
get it.
better use AI
Yeah.
to properly prompt, get all of the outputs, um, edit it all at the same time, mass production. So
Are we too dependent on it though?
are we too dependent?
I don't think so, but I just
You
wanted
know,
to ask that question.
I
Bec-
we might be, but that's where we're being forced into, and I don't see
oh
us
no.
going back.
No.
What about, I think about all the stuff you've done with your choreography and A Different World and,
Mhm.
Stomp the Yard and all
Mhm.
these original dance moves and steps. Can AI do that? I mean, are we losing that originality? Are we losing the inspiration of that brand new thing by leaning so far into AI?
So that I will say at the moment, we don't have to worry about that. One of the things I do, not only do I create AI music, but I create AI generated music videos as well, right? And so
That's so cool.
um, my job is to come up with certain prompts that help AI to be able to dance. And it's there, but it's not fully there. I can guarantee you AI is not doing the type of work
Okay.
that he does.
Right.
Vernon said,
So wait a minute.
thank goodness.
So if are we able to make up the dance moves? Because I was like, are we able to make up the dance moves and then generate it into, you know, like if I had a character, like my alter ego, whatever, is OG Stepmaster, and he's a character. I want him to be a character, an AI character actually, and I make up all the dance moves, and then you generate it, you know, through the AI. So you mean to tell me that it's an issue with the copyright that if I make up all the dance moves and then feed it to the AI to make up this character, I wouldn't get the copyright credit? Is that what the discrepancy is?
More than likely, no.
Really?
Wow.
I would say no,
Because
right?
it's
Because-
generating majority of the content.
Yeah, you're taking your intellectual property and you're feeding it to the machine
Mhm.
who's having to do the work for you, right, to put it out. So so not only are you feeding it to it for an output, but I'm pretty sure somewhere in the terms and conditions, you're also allowing them the right to study what you were asking for. Because if you want it, they know
Someone else.
other people are going to want it too. They're like, hey, I got to go to work on this. So
So Vernon would be feeding all the unique dance moves to the machine that could therefore go and share with the rest of the world.
That's interesting because of the fact that now that I think about it, envision like a cartoon character or a cartoon character or something like that. And when they do cartoons or whatever, whoever's the writers are or whoever is doing all the movements, don't they get the credit for, you know, the writing that material, you know, as well? Because that's what I'm talking about. If I want to create, you know, my alter ego in a cartoon character type vibe, you know, and then even with the music and stuff too, and the dance moves, it seems as though it would be equivalent to the same thing, you know. If I'm feeding them all of the dance moves, I'm feeding them all of the dialogue. I don't need them. I don't need AI to really kind of do that. I just want him to be the character, if you will, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know.
yeah, that
Why wouldn't I get the
Arranger.
credit for, you know, being the producer or the writer of these or the choreographer of these
Would
moves?
he be? It be the like the arranger, composer
Yeah.
kind of concept,
The,
based on what information you would feed it, and then it's gonna take that to create this alter ego with all of these moves.
But I think the difference, I don't know, is the exclusivity, right?
Right.
Because once you share it with AI, it's like you stood on a corner and said, hey, everybody take this, right? Because it's not going to create exclusivity that when I put in these commands, it'll only generate this move for you, right? It would generate it for me or JoJo or whoever, right?
it could if someone had that exact prompt. So could you get the credit for it? Absolutely. But where you run into danger is that if you have an original work and you're taking it, you're feeding it to get the original work completed, you know, you pull it out, yes, you can get credit for it, right? But then later on down the line, these tools that you've used, if they're like, oh, we want to provide other people with the opportunity to create something similar, you were the one that fed it, right? So in that sense, you might not be protected. Now, like open AI, believe they have gotten in trouble by certain, you know, media companies or whatnot, because those companies had original works and they did not feed them their intellectual property. They took their intellectual property and put it into AI. So the next thing you know, everyone is able to manufacture Simpsons looking cartoons, right? And they're like, hold up. Hold up. You know, it's like that. It would be it would be different if the Simpsons were using AI to produce the cartoon. It's a whole other story.
Yeah.
You know,
Not me.
just something to think about.
That's more than a notion for sure. Aaron, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on AI, it's the new wave. It's the future. It's something that, as artists, I feel that we have no choice but to adapt to. Now,
Mhm.
I know what, probably what crossed your mind. You're thinking iRobot. You're
Mhm.
thinking, oh my God, they're gonna take over, and we're not gonna work. They're gonna destroy us all. Mm, uh, no, I don't see that happening.
Right.
I see everything kind of evolving when it comes to AI becoming more human-like, if that makes sense, where it's, you're talking, you have a conversation with your best friend, and they're remembering different memories of the past, what happened the day before or a year ago. I can see that happening. It's pretty scary. I'm a little skeptical, I have to admit, but I feel like it's something that we have to just learn to understand and really just adapt to.
Mm-hmm.
I just think about E.T.
The alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want a phone home?
Yeah. I mean, communication. It's like all of a sudden there's this big blob and we're just giving it all this info. It's like, I remember this, I can remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm being dramatic. Totally
No.
Nightmare on Elm Street moment.
But you talked about it being like your friend, and that reminded me of a news story that I heard a couple weeks ago about a family that is, I guess, filing a suit against the creators of AI technology because their son, I think it was their son or their child, committed suicide,
Oh no.
and
Wow.
AI was the one that encouraged them to go ahead and do it. I guess the child was inquiring if I wanted to take my life, what would be the most efficient way, and da 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 da,
Oh,
and just
I
kind of
think I heard
having. You
about.
remember
I
that?
think I heard about
Having a
that.
conversation,
I did hear about
and
that.
the technology convinced him to do it.
Right. I heard about that.
So I don't know.
And they are
Yeah.
suing.
Yeah, they're
I
suing,
heard
right?
about that.
Yeah.
There was a young gal who did that in real life. Like in real time, she coerced a friend and she was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Like,
Yeah, I remember
you
that
should do it. You
story. A
should do it.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got her.
Mm-hmm.
She actually ended with a life sentence behind that.
What?
And
Yeah.
that's tragic. Well, let me say when it comes to cell phones, um 30, 40 years ago, we didn't have that. Everybody had house phones. You talk to someone that's 18 right now, they're, what's a house phone? What is this?
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, graduating in '04, um, phones were just coming out, 2001, 2000, I believe,
Mhm.
and the flip phones. And we had to adapt to that. And
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
like, what is this? I get the text, I get to call my parents and friend and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the teachers are like, well, why you have this device? What are you doing? It became a distraction to your classwork. And it's something that I feel like there's going to be rules and regulations when it comes to AI, when it
Right.
comes to minors using it. I feel like when it comes to the school district, it's going to be probably, I could be wrong.
Oh.
It might be a format that's going to be placed in the future where this is what you do.
Mhm.
This is how you use AI to get to certain destinations, certain places,
Got
and
it.
then put it away.
Mhm.
I feel like
Mhm.
we have to, me personally, I feel like we have to use our, original, um, the original layout of how things used to be.
Mhm.
Actually go to the library, actually,
Yeah.
write a letter, actually go ahead and do things naturally. No, AI can't, we can use it, as a benefit, as a good resource, but we
Right.
don't forget the actual natural layout of, just living life just naturally.
Right. That can become a challenge, right?
It is. And what about dark AI? Do they have that?
Oh,
You have the dark
wow.
web
Dark.
Yeah.
where people
Well,
go and
thank
do
you,
like
Lori.
terrible things. I'm
Right.
just, anytime there's a good, there's always kind of a
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Yin and yang.
There is. There are people generating not safe for work content using AI. You have to get on special platforms to get it done.
Mm.
And even that is profitable. So that means no actual person involved. You can generate whatever you want, and you have to put it on specific platforms that would allow it. OnlyFans, for example, does not like AI generated content. They will kick you off.
I see.
Mm.
There are
Gotcha.
other things that you can use, and people pay for it.
Gotcha.
So even that's a big business.
Wow.
I know I heard about this. Was it Vogue magazine or I don't remember the magazine. They had the first AI generated model.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And
I know, right?
yeah, she was doing. I think it might have been. I don't remember the magazine, but there was a lot of flack that came out of that
I can
from a whole
imagine.
lot of different spaces. Body imaging, right, was one of those, and then also the work that it took away from other models potentially,
Yeah.
because I guess they configured someone that could be essentially perfect,
Yeah.
Wow.
and that young people are striving to
be.
reach that level of perfection in terms of an aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and there's no possibility of that.
There's that fear as well, because I teach people how to make AI generated replicas of themselves, right? How to create their own twins. So that means, like, the next time you need a headshot or something like that, and you might not have the budget for it, it's like, don't even worry about it. Skip the stylist, skip the makeup artist. Let's find you a look that works for you, and we'll get it for you in really like a couple of minutes. The outfit, everything, anything you want to wear, however you want to pose, it's done, right?
So is there software? Like, how does that happen? Do you know how that happens?
No.
That's crazy.
It's software, and so yeah, you look.
And you just talk to it like, I'm 5'2" and I'm this color, or you take a
You know
picture and
what?
upload it in there.
So how it works, right? So first you have to train the AI. You take roughly about 20, I want to say like maybe 28 minimum, 28 to 50 different photos of yourself so that you could train it. And you take it and you upload it. And from there, after a few minutes, it's going to give you a code. And you will use that code every single time you want to generate something of yourself. So you have that code, you can go to Pinterest and you're like, "Oh, I like this hair and I like this outfit. I like this pose. I think I want my photo shoot to be like this." You take that image, paste it into AI, like ChatGPT, for example, and be like, "Hey, give me a prompt, which is, a set of instructions or a set of words to create an image just like this." Right? And you take that prompt and you copy it, repaste it into the program that's going to do it for you. And all of a sudden, it generates your image just how you want it. And so it does remove like a lot of different regular, human flaws, human imperfections, things that make us us. But then at the end of the day, you're like, damn, I look so much better. And it's without having to pay for Photoshop.
Right.
You know, I used to charge, because I've been in branding and marketing for a long time. Somebody would want a photo shoot, which is necessary for the new website, $3K, because I've got to put together a whole production. I have to find models. I have to find a stylist. I have to see if a boutique is willing to rent out to us. I have to find a studio. I got to get a makeup artist, lighting, photographer, editing, all of that. And we're talking weeks, right, of preparation, then the day, the several hours of actually getting the shoot done, the cleanup, the post. Now we can have it in an hour for pennies.
I actually love that concept. Only because I'm saying when I'm thinking, when I was telling your husband in the very beginning about my characters and finally meeting you and talking to you and really processing, it's dope because that character, OG Stepmaster, y'all better not take my idea. that character, you don't have to worry about him aging. He's there, standing, and suppose it's a hit. He's ongoing, and he's actually gonna be a superhero. And now y'all gotta. We need to talk. We gotta talk.
Most definitely.
I think it's dope, actually.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amen.
The problem is that we gotta
together.
see what's up with that copywriting thing or whatever and all that. Because you're answering what I kind of wanted. I talked to I talked to a teenager along these lines, but he went to I think he went to Grambling University, Grambling State. He was in high school, and he just went to I think Grambling or whatever, and he's gone. But God works in mysterious ways.
Absolutely, he's an awesome.
I got you. No worries.
Okay.
No, I have to say, I have an AI headshot that looks just like me that she
Do
Do
designed.
you?
Yes.
Yes, and it's scary.
Man,
What?
Right.
But it does give me work. It does give me booking. So
Amen.
it does work.
Wow.
So you save $300, $200 depending on a
Amen.
headshot session. The
Exactly.
photographer can't go wrong.
Shucks. Isn't that awesome?
I'm sorry. Have you guys seen the I have a couple of friends recently that their parents passed away, and they brought their parents. He showed me my barber one. He showed me his mother came back to life. His mother's passed away, and she was talking, looked real vibrant, looked beautiful like y'all. I was
Yes.
like,
Oh my
what?
Through
And she was-
AI?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I can take.
He started crying. He was like, man, I'm going to trip, but man, yeah, he showed it to me just the other day. This last
And she was saying stuff
Yeah.
like on the
Yes.
TV?
yeah, she was talking and she was
Oh,
talking
no.
down there and she was beautiful. I was like, what? It looked like she was still living. Like, I never met her before. Yeah, he was like, he was real sad. He was like, man,
Oh, wow.
I'd never seen that, but
Yeah. Through a very special process, I can take any photo of anybody and generate them in motion. I can generate them talking. If I have a voice recording of them from the past, it will talk. It will say exactly what it was that they were saying. And I discovered something like maybe 2 days ago that actually creeped me out so much. I stepped away from it. I was like, wait, I'm not gonna put the company on blast because this isn't sponsored, right? But basically, what happened? The company asked me for a 2-minute video recording of myself talking just like I'm talking to you, giving information about me. And it was like, okay, fine. It was done. It did a generation. And then it was like, okay, Micah, now talk to yourself. So I said something and it responded back to me just like a real person. I was hearing myself back in real time, talking back to myself just like I was talking to you. And it felt like my soul was in there. I was just like,
And it was taking it wasn't just repeating what you said.
It wasn't
was
repeating.
creating a dialogue with you.
dialogue.
creating a
basically.
dialogue.
Oh, wow.
It knew what I did for business. It knew a little bit about my background within, roughly 2 minutes. And so where something like that would be used is like I'll charge people for consultations. But if it had all of my knowledge, all of my data, and I placed it in there, you wouldn't have to do the consultation with me anymore. You could just do the consultation with my AI. It'll tell you everything you want to know. But to me, that's scary. That's
Yes.
scary. To
Right.
me, that's taking it too far. So then we also
Right.
But it
Right.
it remembers,
Yeah,
right?
The
Yeah,
full part,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like as you use it and tell it about yourself,
Mhm.
it stores and remembers that data.
Yeah,
And it can become more and more of you.
right.
Which is a
Ooh,
good thing.
The Body Snatchers. What was that movie
Yeah.
called?
I mean, because even with the producing and it's like, okay, well, I don't even have to go through that history. It's like, okay, well, based on what you already know about this, what do you think I should do with da 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 da? Which is some of those things I was telling you today about scaling and different platforms we could use. But it already knows, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, but then it could
But
be a scary thing.
then,
Does
there
it
you
fill
go.
in the holes? You know, like Jurassic Park, they had
Well,
that
no,
whole
not like
strand of
intense,
DNA,
like-
but then they
like a-
filled it in with other mean dinosaurs and they got this horrible stuff.
It
Does it fill in parts of you that it doesn't know? It just makes up some stuff and
It-
puts in there?
It could. I did test it, and it did make up some things because it only had 2 minutes worth of data, right?
Right.
Right.
So, for example, when I use ChatGPT, my ChatGPT has a password that has a password that has a password because I know the value of the information that's in there. I'm not giving myself any chance to get hacked, right?
Right.
So I control that.
Right.
But this other company, it's like I don't fully control that. They do. The one that has me talk back. And that allows anybody to be able to access that with a link. And I was like, what is to stop someone from taking my
Absolutely.
right? And then who knows who's putting their stuff in there? Some people are like, hey, CEOs, you need to clone your brain so that your team can talk to the AI and you can be off doing other things. Well, if they know too much, who's to stop them from like doing something crazy to you?
Right.
They don't need you anymore. Your brain's in the computer.
Mhm.
So like I said, when we started this, it all depends on who's using it and for what,
Right.
right? I think we all have to kind of draw like our own limits to how we want to use it and how we want it to use us. So.
That's a follow-up show. Ethics
Bookie,
in AI. Right?
That part too.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Woohoo. But what about filmmaking? What other changes have you seen in your journey and all what you do with regard to AI? Or there's some things about the whole interviewing processes and going out on auditions that is still humanistic, if you will?
I haven't experienced it yet. We just left the Chris Brown concert recently in San Diego, and it was a beautiful concert, amazing.
Nice.
But he used AI.
Oh,
Chris
really?
Brown was talking to himself. He's talking to an AI character
To perform
of himself, and I found it fascinating. I'm like, what is
Okay.
this?
See, that's what I'm talking about. See? I mean,
You guys have so burning.
Did you want to see
Singer.
him dance? What did you want to see? Did you want to see him dance?
Who? Chris Brown?
Yeah. But are you still seeing him dance? But I'm seeing him dancing. But I'm just saying.
Well,
Just saying.
he was talking to his past self, talking about his upbringing as an artist, and he was talking about this is how you were back in 2010, and this is who you are now. So, what lessons have you learned? So, it was a little story, along the way
That's
within the
dope.
concert.
Cool
So,
is
I
that?
enjoyed
dope.
it.
Yay.
That was clever. I wasn't there, but that's clever. I see that.
So, I could see other artists actually, copying, duplicating off of that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Oh yeah.
Now that you told me that, it's dope.
Yeah.
But as far as the Oscars and actors using AI, I haven't personally experienced it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. It might be coming in my near future, right around the corner, actually, because I just talked to a friend of mine. I haven't spoke to her in 9 years. She opened up her own production company, and she and I had a conversation last week, and she wants to do a stage play. Well, a stage play, so I thought. And it's something called The Awakening. I'm like, what is The Awakening? What is this? And she was talking about how it's going to be about our Black culture, how we're going to talk about Black history, but it's not really a stage play. It is a stage play, but it's not a stage play. So tell me more, be more specific. What do you mean? Well, it's going to be singers, it's going to be poets, it's going to be a modeling show, it's going to be a stage play, it's going to be all these different things, but it's not going to be in actually a theater. It's going to be a venue that she rented out in Long Beach, and it's going to be about an hour and a half show. So something different. So I'm still kind of in the dark a little bit, but she wants me to perform a monologue on November 14th. That's the start date of the show. So I'm interested. I'll definitely do it. So is she going to incorporate AI? I'm thinking possibly.
No.
Possibly.
She should talk to Micah.
Lori,
Yeah.
question, speaking about AI. The university that you work with, do they? Or can you not tell? You can't tell.
Well, this is a hot topic on our campus, and we're having more and more conversations about it. If we were talking about engineering or we were talking about business, I think those conversations are very vibrant, right? When we're talking about the arts, people are very skittish about it, right? They're not too sure. We have two faculty members who have used AI in their area of costume design to be very unique and integrative, and create these AI generated costumes, but they're kind of hush hush about it because we don't know how the industry will accept it, which I think leads us to friend or foe, right? I think the industry is kind of divided. It's like, oh, you're nuzzling up to this thing that may take our jobs, that may potentially replace us, even people who are just walk-ins, who are bystanders who are getting work. We no longer need audiences. We no longer need JoJo just to walk across the stage. So I think they're a little scared about it. But then there's this ability, as you say, Micah, to really create something different and new and interesting. So they're creative. So you're very interested, right? So I think there is that balance. But we're starting a whole line in January on intellectual conversations centered around the use of AI. one thing that we have learned, our students are using it. They're using it
Yeah.
in what they create and what they do and what they write, right?
Because it's
So I
secondhand.
think, as you were saying, Aaron, the younger minds are on board.
Dude.
It's the
Yeah.
dinosaurs that's got to, like, okay, let me understand. How do I talk to this thing? How do I really make it a friend and not see it as a foe? So,
Right.
yeah.
Holy moly. What were you going to say, Aaron? I'm sorry.
So I find it fascinating that this is there again, like I said, the wave of the future.
This is it. But they said
Um,
the future is now.
it
The
is.
future is now.
It is. When it comes to my acting background, I grew up in South Los Angeles and raised by my grandmother and my mother.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, my late grandmother, she was an actress. So I was looking at her in a black and white film. I can't recall the name right off the top of my head right now, but I was looking at her and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Mhm.
So every year we would watch the Oscars and the Emmys and all these different award shows. And I said to her, like, hey, I'm going to do some theater plays one day. I'm going to go and get into acting. So that's what I did. As soon as I went into high school, I met a couple of directors. I met this one director who I'm still in contact with today named Byron Nora. And he had stage plays every single year at the Nate Holden, different other
Yeah.
venues around LA. And recently, well, I would still say recently, about 2 years ago, we finished my first film that I produced, that I've written, called Grace for a Gangster, and I have the trailer right now. So it's fully edited, and it's going to come out sometime next year.
How exciting,
Nice.
Aaron. It's so
So
exciting.
I'm looking forward to it. So I'm highly excited about that. And when it comes to TV shows, I'm in a show currently right now called The Singles, and we just finished episode 2. We're gonna finish
Wow.
episode 3, or begin episode 3 next month. And right now we just have an IG page,
Oh,
but you can
cool.
follow it on Instagram, and you can check out the trailer as
Let
well
us
as
know
the
that
pilot.
handle.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Singles series.
All
A
right.
single
We're
series.
going to check that out, guys.
Mhm.
Make sure and check it out.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. What about you, Lori?
I am too, definitely, because you guys know I'm nosy.
Right.
Of course.
So I'm happy to hear that you're doing all of those exciting things, and I'll definitely be checking them out. And it's exciting that your grandmother was such an inspiration for you.
know.
So that's exciting.
Thank you, thank you.
Like, look at my baby.
And
There
so,
she
Vernon,
is.
tell us your legacy story.
Where do you want me to start? Well, speaking of legacy, first and foremost, like I said, I was raised in Watts. I went to Markham Junior High School, only junior high in Watts. Yeah, actually, I think it is only junior high of Compton Boulevard. And I was raised by my mother, single parent. May she rest in peace. She's been gone since '95. However, I'm the first in my family to go to college and graduate, and I'm the first in my family to be a member of a fraternity. I never knew. It's a common story for a lot of people. Never knew my father, and I unfortunately do have a brother that's in prison right now still. Excuse me. And so I have family when I grew up. If you're from LA, from both sides of the fence, Bloods and Crips in my blood family. So it was really, a trip. I'm with neither, I love my family, but I'm with neither. So I opted to, go to college and pledge a fraternity. I graduated from Cal State Northridge University. My degree is in communication studies, and I took off school back in the day to pursue my career in Hollywood. And so we went on my first professional gig was a Coca-Cola commercial that we got, a stepping commercial. Excuse me. Otis Salid was he was the choreographer, and so he casted myself and my fraternity brother to be in that commercial. On the set of that commercial, there was some friends talking about Debbie Allen's having an audition at her house in Santa Monica, and she's looking for some dancers. And so I said, okay, let's roll, me and my frat brother. So we went to her house, and the next day after the commercial, and we auditioned for Debbie, and I fell in love with her. She fell in love with us.
Cool.
Now, she and this is when A Different World was first coming out. She didn't immediately cast us and put us on A Different World. It took like a couple of seasons before we start being on a part of A Different World. But during that time, we went to audition, and the video that we auditioned for was an artist by the name of Angela Winbush. Have you guys ever heard of
Oh,
Angela
sure.
Winbush?
Absolutely.
So It's the Real Thing. That's my first video. It was, we was in that video. We did a couple of videos with Angela, and during that time, Angela was dating Ronald Osley of the Ozzy Brothers. We toured with the Ozzy, Ronald them back in the day. Started out then, and we took off from there. We toured with the artist by the name of CeCe Peniston. Did our world tour. Finally, it has happened to me. Then we finally got on A Different World. We start stepping. We did all the stepping scenes on A Different World. The fraternity scenes, Kappa Lambda Nu. I did Sister Sister, Arsenio, the NAACP Image Awards, Stomp. It was a TV show called Stomp. We shot from 92 to 96. It was television's first national step show on TV. We did several commercials, Gatorade commercials.
But you were just running through these. These are massive moments in time
Yeah.
in Black culture and history. I mean, shaped, I know the girls, our daughters growing up. I mean, these iconic moments. So I just want you to know that these are your iconic moments. You know what I mean? Like, we did this, we did this, we did this, which is so amazing. But what were those moments like? You know, I mean, let's just reflect on one. Just go a little bit deeper, if it's okay.
It was we had some, I can talk about it. I'll talk about it now. We had some iconic moments. We worked with Michael Jackson because we were innovative. You know, the reason why I say that, I like to call myself OG Step Master. I learned stepping from my fraternity brothers. So it's not like, obviously, I didn't create no stepping. You know, my big brothers, they taught us step. I just happened to be a street dancer by the time I pledged my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha A Phi. By the time I pledged my fraternity, and but everybody in the industry back then, even Kirk Franklin came out with his song called Stomp. We had our album that you probably didn't hear about. It was in our single was Stomp, called Stomp 2 back in the day. Everybody wanted to step and stomp. Everybody was taking a whole bunch of our stuff, our style and everything. But back to Michael Jackson, that moment was, you know, that was my kind of, we had been working with a lot of people and doing a lot of TV shows back then. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well. And so, but when I met Michael, it was like it was a moment because of the fact that he was hot, you know, back then. But the reason what I said I was going to talk about, I can talk about it now. We did a project with him called Is This Scary? And he was at the height of his career, and we were working with him right when the very first that child molestation thing, whatever. That very, very, very first, you know, thing that was, and they canned that project. And then they brought on tag team. Whoop, there it is, and we finished the project with them with that project. But we were working with Michael with when that incident, that very, very first internet
Rumor
game.
stuff came
Wow.
out.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was really it was devastating. It was really a trip. Yeah, we was all excited, and I just what I mean to bring that was a downer or whatever and
No,
stuff, but
no,
that
no.
was
That's your
No.
part of the history. That's the
Mhm.
you know
legacy story. You know what I
yeah.
mean? This is
So
you. This is
yeah,
a part of it all.
but
In my
we've had some very iconic moments, and being on the same stages with a lot of people. I mean, back then, the Image Awards is the Image Awards of today, but back when we were choreographing it, we were actually choreographing the pieces, the Image Awards and dancing. They don't do those. They don't do that no more. And we brought Stump, and the reason why I say we brought Stump Steppin' from underground to mainstream. Debbie wanted to work with us first because of the fact that um, unless you was in a black fraternity or sorority back in the day, you really wasn't stepping. Everybody's stepping now. Whites, blacks, cheerleaders, church folks, so everybody's stepping now.
right.
But back in the day, the reason why Debbie wanted to work with us because we was the real thing. We was real alphas, and she always kind of wanted to work with work with the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she fell in love with us and put us on the show first.
All right
So
now.
it was because of that that connection got us all those got us through the door of all those gigs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say I come from the golden era of those black iconic shows. We don't have a lot of that today.
Right.
But yeah, so that's why again I say about I call myself the OG Stepmaster.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forward too, I also done the New Bel Air, stepped on the New Bel Air the
Oh.
first season and the third season. And Uncle Phil, who plays on the show now, and they just did the fourth season. He's Adrian A5. He's my frat brother now, so he plays my frat. Just
That's
recently
so
crossed
cool.
and everything. So be on the lookout for the last season. We're not stepping on the last season, but yeah. So I'm excited about that. And nowadays I don't have like I had agents and stuff back in the day
Mhm.
and all that. But and we had Norm Nixon, her husband. Her husband was our manager back in the day. Now I'm doing stuff independently because I have my own company. I'm a vendor with the LAUSD school. I teach kids, in school. I have a
Oh,
contract with the LA with the school system. I'm an educator in school, teaching dance and step,
all
doing
right
what I
now.
love to do.
All right
So it's
now.
all about me. And I'm like I never would have thought that I would be able to be doing something continuously what I love to do, and now I'm able to give back to the next generation, which is important to me, and inspire them to go to college because the only way that you get the full appreciation of stepping, to me, this is my personal opinion, and get the full brotherhood or sisterhood. First of all, in order to be in a fraternity or sorority, a black fraternity or sorority, you have to go to college. You have to graduate. You have to go to college, and that's the only way you can be in a frat or sorority. But to get that bond and that brotherhood, you have, be a part of our organization. We call it the Divine Nine, the D9. So,
Mm.
but I still do, dibbling dabbling, whenever my connections want me to come choreograph or perform or step or whatever. Still, they'll call me up every now and then. I still work, so I'm dibbling dabbling still now. But I really me I don't really I had to get a foundation. I don't really like going on auditions or whatever. I never would really like going on auditions back in the day. For one job, a room full of people or whatever and stuff going for this one position, I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to, you can have that. So I gave that to the little kids and stuff now. I mean, oh well, adults or whatever and stuff too, but y'all can have that. But but I just thank God that I'm able to still do right now what I love to do, and still be in the arts and the industry and everything, and still work, and and not have to really compete, go on auditions against other folks or whatever for one job.
One job.
So that's kind of been my own little thing. I mean, to each his own. That's cool. You come up on you get a gig in the industry as an actor, or as a producer on a show that lasts for some seasons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, 7 seasons, whatever. That's a good thing. But for me, for me in my house to go, on, to have an agent and go on those auditions and stuff right now, and then you got to go on the callbacks and stuff or whatever too, and all that. It's a lot, So I just like sticking to. I'm just kind of more independent. I'm an independent artist, independent contractor, and I want to start generating, doing my own thing. So Michael, we gonna talk because I'm so excited, about the future, about creating my own, like my frat brother Roland Martin. He's he has his own network as well, So that's important when we do our own, like you guys are doing right now, your own, your own podcast, doing your own thing. That's kind of where the lane that I'm in. I think that's important, and being they don't teach us that. I didn't learn that, I didn't have positive role models in my family. Like I said, I never knew my father, and even that I told you guys that I had, the side of the family that I come from, Bloods and Crips. I didn't have nothing positive or whatever, So it was by the grace of God that, I made it out, and found my own way. So he had his plan, and and he's preserved me for a time as such, as they say at church or whatever and stuff. For a time as such, because what they say, I don't look like what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? He's preserved me, and I'm still able to give back. My arts keep me in shape, keep me healthy, keep me dancing, and keep me stepping. Creating as a creator, I still get to do what I love to do, performing around the city. And so also along with my company, with teaching as an educator, we when we did Arsenio Hall, I've done Arsenio Hall several times. Yeah, Arsenio had me do his a couple of commercials back in the day, in the '90s when we had our TV show Stomp. We did Arsenio, and performed as stepped on his show with Jasmine Guy, because Jasmine Guy Whitley had her album Once Upon a Time too. We toured with her as well.
Oh,
That was a
exciting.
dope moment.
Good time.
Jasmine was she was hot back in the day
Yes,
when she was on a different
absolutely.
world. So we
That's
toured
true.
with her, done the Soul Train Music Awards. I mean, we've done a lot, I've toured with, everybody, and it's just been, a great thing. So, I'm cool with, where I am right now. There's a lot more I want to do because I'm working on music. We were working on music back in the day,
Right.
so, I'm just excited, just I'm able to, make a living off of what I do,
Amen.
It's
It's a blessing.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask you,
Absolutely.
Aaron, about auditioning. How do you feel about auditioning? I mean, I know you do a lot of theater and film and commercials. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've been fortunate to network and know a lot of people. When I wrote my film, I was able to call and text a lot of people that I worked with previously in short films and also theater productions.
Right.
And the venue over, I think it's off of Santa Monica Boulevard, the Hudson. I was able to rent out that venue for about an hour and get them together. So I would say I've been blessed over the series of years of just knowing a lot of people where they would actually call me, can you please audition, or can you come over
Right.
and be a part of
And
this
read.
production?
Right.
And not saying that I don't have a LA casting or Actors Access, but I don't really normally use those type of platforms
Right.
when I get a project.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do everything I can to really create my own, because with the film that's going to come out, that's just a stepping stone to what's to come.
It is. It is. Look, we've got a lot of dynamic things going on.
We
My
do.
goodness.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts about everything, beautiful?
I was just sitting here listening to you talk about your feelings about auditioning, and then hearing you talk about auditioning, and then
I
thinking
know,
about the
that's what I was thinking.
possibilities. Can somebody create a AI audition reel? Because and that's your reel. You just send it out all the time. It looks like you. You told me you can create something that looks like me, right?
Right.
And now self tapes are what we kind of use, right? There's not a whole bunch of in-person kind of auditioning that happens. You send a self-tape.
Very
right?
rare.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would that happen? Or is
I'm
that
sure.
just crazy?
Heck no, I would do it.
I don't.
In
But
a
I don't know.
heartbeat.
I don't
Look
know.
at Micah.
know
She's
Micah
like,
would do
can
it.
we do that?
I'd be like calling Micah, can we do da da da? She was like, yes, just
So-
send me these images.
I don't think it's crazy. I just don't think it's a great idea right now, even though it's totally
Right.
doable.
I don't think so either.
Now we have technology where, yes, you can create a replica, but let's say I wasn't using a set of instructions. Let's say you wanted to step, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, okay, so I'm gonna step on this side of the screen, and my replica's gonna be on this side, and this is what I'm doing. So your replica is gonna move exactly how you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
That technology has just been released a few days ago and is all over the place now.
Oh, really?
So, and if you wanted to talk how you talk, make the same exact same facial expressions as you, hand motions, it can do that all. It can do all of it, right? The thing is, I think what we have to think about is who is receiving it on the other end. Are they for AI, or are they like one of the people that's like, I don't want anything to do with this in my field, in my industry. I'm not for this. I'm for human arts and human arts only. It could end up getting someone in trouble if they didn't want AI generated, works, or they're thinking like, oh, they're just being lazy. Right.
Right.
Why?
But
Right.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
please.
I would say not even just that in regards to getting in trouble. I would think that when it comes to, if I'm a producer of a show,
Mhm.
and you or if I'm a casting director, if I'm a
Mhm.
casting director, and you sent in a AI generated, you sent me an AI generated audition tape, and then you come, I'm sorry, then you come, and then this is not what you vibe and what you're giving. Even though you said, yeah, it can replicate, you to a certain degree, but when you show up in person, it might give a different vibe or whatever. And these casting directors, that can be like a expeditiously immediate turn
But that
off.
happens now.
Right.
People have headshots that are like 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, I look at this, and then when you walk in the room, I'm
You're like,
like,
wow.
Is that you?
Come
on.
But that doesn't work. I mean, I tell people, if you have a 10-year headshot, a 12-year head, please update.
yes,
Please
please.
update.
Right.
Because you have to be authentically you.
You'll be
Right.
surprised at how many people are not
College
authentically
photo.
them. It's kind of like internet dating, right?
Catfishing.
Exactly. You get a
Shooting with your
picture,
best
you're
shot,
like,
you're still
oh,
out there.
okay. And you see the person, you're like, wow, is that you really?
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah.
And you know what else has changed that I heard as well. When COVID came, changed a whole lot of the way people cast. Because I was just on not a panel. I attended a panel for Screen Actors Guild, and some of the directors and the casting directors, and they were saying that that's when people start sending in their audition. I mean that's they start doing real time audition tapes. Like the casting director or the online. I don't know if you do that or whatever. If when you're going out for a part, they you guys do like a Zoom
meeting.
type
I
vibe or
have,
whatever and
yeah.
stuff too. That's the new way, and when that kind of really took off when COVID came, because that became the new
Yeah.
way to
New
cast
way to
cast
operate.
yeah.
Some people are still scared because of COVID, what happened 5 years ago. And post-COVID, there's a few casting directors and production companies that are now opening up their doors where you can have an open audition, go in there and, read for a line apart. But there's still a lot of people, from what I've noticed over the series of the recent 2 years, that just required, okay, we're going to talk through Zoom. Me, I'm more of a, I want to see you face to face, because if I'm vibing with you over the phone, I gotta, or through Zoom, I want to meet you face to face where I sign a contract for anything. So, but I think that's something that we all have to, well, I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of people really have to do, is really get back to socializing face to face.
Mm-hmm.
and really understanding the energy that you're connecting with people.
Right.
Because as artists, that's what we do. We're people pleasers, and we're learning more about people,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to get back to that.
Right. I agree with you. This has been such a dynamic conversation.
Yay,
It
Sissy.
has.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord
Thanks
G.
all of you for being here.
Thank
Now,
you.
if we wanted to keep up with your projects, do you have social media handles that you can share with our viewers?
Mine's is I go by my IG and my TikTok, which I'm about to stop using TikTok when the government take over.
Oh.
But it's my biggest following, TikTok and Facebook and IG too. But on IG and TikTok, it's bigbruh.g, BIGBRUHDOCG. That's my handle. And on Facebook, it's Vernon Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
On IG, it's A Devon King, and on Facebook, you can follow me at Aaron Devon King.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter,
All right now.
and also TikTok at Micah the Creator. And that's creator with a K. And if you want to learn AI for 7 days for free from me, you can go to herpayday.com and I will set you up.
Wow.
Herpayday.com.
Yes.
You guys heard it here exclusively.
Yes,
Huh,
absolutely.
Sissy?
Yeah, you heard it here first, right?
Yay.
Well, thank you again. We appreciate all of you being here, and we're excited to see what is around the corner,
Woohoo.
particularly in AI, right?
Amen.
And your little avatar that you're going to create.
Yeah.
Great.
And if you guys are
That'd
coming
be
to the
nice.
Taste of Soul, you can see my all-star team go set it out as
Okay.
usual, performing
Dexter's got us.
October
there.
18th.
October
All right.
18th.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Be there, be square.
Come to Little Washington stage. Yes, all
Uh-huh.
these stages come to Little Washington stage.
All right, guys, that's it here on the Poetry of Justice show. You got it, Sissy?
I got it. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.